everybody, my name is Sally-Ann Spence and welcome to the Hills Quarry Products dig site in Wick. Now this has been a 3-week dig, probably the biggest paleontological dig in the UK, and we have students from over 20 universities here. I've got 3 of them with me now and they're going to get them to introduce themselves. Can you tell us your name and what your role is here?
Hi, I'm Aman. I'm a second year paleontology student at the University of Bristol, and I've been doing a mixture of things on this dig. But I've been mostly helping out with looking for Jurassic invertebrates, as well as looking for little microfossils in the sediments as well.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And I'm Daniel. I'm also a second year, but I'm doing Earth Sciences at Oxford. And I've also been working on the Jurassic here, mostly focusing on the vertebrate material. So I've been here in the first week, had a week off, and now I'm back for a bit more.
Hi, I'm Isaac, also same year, same university as Daniel, so same college as well, which is quite something. I have been leading this third week the Jurassic invertebrate material as well as the sedimentary logging of the Jurassic material. So, yeah.
Right.
Shall we have a discussion of what we've been looking at?
Yes, let's tell everybody what you've been finding, because this is an exciting part of the dig. We're getting to a point now where we're starting to really get that data together. So, I mean, it's going to go on for ages, isn't it?
I hope so.
Yeah, right. Well, we are filming live, raw and unedited. We want you to experience the dig with us. That's really important. But unfortunately, because we're in a working quarry landscape, we can't have you here on site as visitors, but we are enabling you to experience it. As I said, we've got Harry who's working the camera, because if you're on this dig, you have to take part in all sorts of different things. We're going to move the microphone around between us so that these guys can have a discussion and explain what they are about to show you. So,
yeah. So, we've been systematically logging the different sedimentologies, the different layers of the rock inside this quarry here. And some of the layers are harder than others, some of them are very soft sediments. So what we've been doing is sifting through this soft sediment rather than smashing open rocks to see all of the tiny things that we can find.
Right, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you to hold that so you can move that conversation around a little bit.
Yeah, so a couple of days ago we discovered a new unit which tapers off into very soft sediment. So all 3 of us have been sieving through it. Daniel's been looking at the vertebrate stuff. Aman's been mainly looking at the invertebrate stuff, but has been finding, unfortunately for me...
I was supposed to be looking for invertebrates, but I found more vertebrate stuff than the vertebrate people, so there we go.
You've got a very good eye for it, that then.
Doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, so here we have, if the camera wants to come and have a look.
Harry, come and bring this camera in so we can see.
We've got a petri dish full of assorted microfossils that we've been collecting here. So these are all ones that I have sieved out. And in here we have a lovely crab pincer or a lobster pincer. We're not sure yet, but it's in 3 pieces. And underneath the microscope, you can see just how well the preservation is of the different bits of it. The surface detail is exquisite. Here we have a lovely little scallop. We have some really peculiar barbed sea urchin spines there. We also have these lovely gastropods like that with these beautiful, beautiful surface details preserved, like down to sub-micron scale. These features are preserved too. Some lovely bits of crinoid, which are basically sea lilies. They exist now. They typically encrust themselves onto the seafloor. They behave a bit like a plant, but they're actually animals related to starfish and sea urchins. They're very bizarre life forms. So, yeah, we've really been finding all sorts of stuff. I mean, when I first sieved out the first big chunk of the crab, or lobster, I was pretty stoked, to say the least. And then I kept saying to the others I was going to keep sieving out the rest of it, and we're going to have a whole crab by the end of it. Unfortunately, it looks like it's dropped its pincer, so it is just the pincer. But I did manage to get the other pieces of it. And Daniel has quite a similar story about things that he's been finding.
A similar story. Yeah, I suppose the camera can come back. It's all quite little pieces that we've got here. So you can hopefully see in the microscope there a shark tooth in 2 pieces. And you know, I was digging a few days ago in the Kellaways, and I found that tip there, that point, and I thought, that's interesting. I bet there's not just the tip of the shark tooth. I bet the rest is here somewhere. So the layer I was digging in, I dug it up. I got out the sieve and a bucket of water, and I sieved through it, and I found the other half of it. And the 2 of those fit together very nicely, and need to be glued together, but that's a job for later. And once we realised that this sort of material was present in that layer, then we thought, well, let's go for it. Let's dig up buckets and buckets of it. And so we spent yesterday sieving, and we've found all sorts, haven't we?
We will likely be spending today sieving as well.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to show you some of the other vertebrate stuff that we've found. Where can we find it? Okay, so here we have a weird little malariform tooth. That means that it's sort of rounded. It's evolved for crushing, and that's because it belonged to a type of fish called a pycnodonts, which went around eating little shellfish, and so these would be arranged in big plates on the top and bottom of its mouth, and it would use them to crush the shells of bivalves and things like that, and little snails to get out the fleshy bits inside. Also, this was found just yesterday. I'm absolutely stoked by this. If I can find it. Where is it? An almost perfect crown of a little shark tooth called what we believe is a type of shark called a Secarodus polyprion. I'm not sure if it's able to pick it up, but the surface detail is incredible, the ornamentations. Unfortunately, the distal side of the tooth isn't there. But this is from a type of shark that's very different to modern sharks. It's called a hybodont shark. And they were different in many ways to modern sharks. They had these weird bony spines in front supporting their dorsal and sometimes their pectoral fins. The males had little horns on their heads. And one of the other weird things is you'll notice that this tooth does not have a root, and that's because it was a shed tooth. Unlike modern sharks, the shed teeth of hybodonts were resorbed back into the tooth before they were shed, and so if you find a root, you know that it was from a shark that died and the teeth then scattered. We haven't found any more significant remains of sharks yet. We were hoping to find some fin spines or, fingers crossed, some cartilaginous elements, a skull, whole body.
Nice, that would be nice.
We've been trying to predict that we're going to find a pycnodont shark with the rest of the crab crushed in its mouth.
Pycnodont shark, huh?
Pycnodont fish.
Yeah. But you never know. The beauty of the Jurassic stuff here is that it's from a formation that's very understudied, especially compared to the ones just above and below it. So a lot of really new stuff that hasn't been reported before is still coming out. That crustacean bit is very likely from a new species, as are many of the shells and things that we've found.
Yeah.
So it's a very exciting time. So there's always a possibility that something incredible could come out in the last few days of digging.
Well, we have today, and then we have a little bit of tomorrow. Hopefully all day tomorrow. If we're lucky, we might have an hour or two on Sunday before
Fingers
it's
crossed.
closed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
What really excites me about this is the team that you've formed.
Yeah.
And the dedication you lot have had. I have been going back at night, early hours of the morning, and their work tent is lit up and they're still beavering away. This is fantastic because you only have a very short time. Although 3 weeks seems a long time when you're living it in a tented village, it's actually a very short time. So you do need to max out your time working with these specimens. And you can really see those that are driven and that keenness, and to make the most of their time. And you three have absolutely done that. It's so noticeable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to ask you.
Yep.
This is really exciting. New species.
Yes.
That not everybody gets to do this.
No.
Not everybody gets to see so many new species coming through.
It is absurd. We have something like 12 or so confirmed new species now that we've been looking at in the invertebrates.
And I'm not being derogatory, but at your age, this is amazing.
No, it is crazy, yeah.
Papers, boys. Are we going to be seeing papers from you in the future?
Yeah, fingers
Are you
crossed.
going to be some of the first authors on some of this material? Because that's really an important thing.
It is looking increasingly so.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Spoken like a, yeah, absolutely.
If I have any takeaway, if there are any amateur fossil hunters watching these videos, the one takeaway I have from just this little bit that we're doing here, don't neglect the small stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really incredible big bones from both the Ice Age and the Jurassic sitting in the conservation tent just over there, but the small stuff yields so many treasures, not just here but from sites across the whole geological age range. there's some sites that one of my friends is working on an incredible site that produces just dinosaur tooth after dinosaur tooth. So you can find some
important.
truly amazing, incredible treasures in the little stuff that a lot of people will just overlook or say, oh, that's not interesting. But I would recommend going through it.
Absolutely.
And when you find that material, do go and visit your museums or anybody else that you can get to. You know, don't keep this stuff to yourself. Don't just sell it or anything. I know it might be potentially tempting, but you know, we need the science and the data. That's so important. This, especially this formation, which is understudied. You know, we need that.
Yeah.
Just recently, I've been working with somebody who's been finding insect parts, incredible Jurassic insects, stunning preservation. Just on their own, completely out of context with anything else, you know, in a nodule. But they have been in nodules that people have gone along, cracked, can't find an ammonite, and have discarded.
Yeah.
And
No, it
it's only
happens.
been starting to look for these in the last couple of years. And, you know, the information, the science, the data from these specimens is massive, but they are so small, people are overlooking them. And we need that information, don't we?
We do.
We really do,
I mean,
yeah.
take it from a massive nerd like me. The fact that there are so many microfossils means you also get to do statistics on them.
Oh, golly. And he's smiling, he's loving it.
I love statistics.
It's a bit weird like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And Daniel, you've been down that quarry, bashing those rocks open. We've done a little interview with Daniel as well. Go back. We've done interviews with Isaac. It's great to have you here because you're the first time in front of the camera. He's been avoiding me, but I've got him now. So you know, do go back through the videos where you will meet these guys looking at various things out in the quarry and in the work tent as well. But you know, what's next then for you three? Are you going to keep in touch with each other?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Are you going to potentially meet up again?
Yes.
I mean, it's quite easy for
Almost
you to.
certainly.
Yes,
Yeah.
Almost
good.
certainly.
Yeah.
So this is a friendship as well. That's sprung.
A friendship
from
that's
this.
going to last as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, are we going to see you like Richard Forrest in the future? You know,
I hope
sat here,
so.
Great
I
white
hope
beards,
so.
you know. Absolutely fantastic. It really is so exciting. So what is going to happen next then?
A lot of cataloguing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a very large Excel spreadsheet, of which I have now been given the reins over, despite maybe intelligence. Like I've accidentally crashed the Excel spreadsheet before, but we won't go into that.
We won't talk about that.
But no, a lot of cataloguing, a lot of writing up, a lot of identifying, a lot of macro and micro photography, a lot of lab work basically.
Yeah.
I also have a lot of sediment samples, about 15 to 16 kilograms of them that I need to sift through.
I was going to say you will probably run out of time on this dig.
Yes.
And you will need to take samples back away with you.
Yeah, they are being taken to a lab in Bristol to dry out as we speak. So then I will slurry them and microsieve them and do exactly this, but in a lab.
A
But
bit more control.
a bit more controlled.
Yeah. But for the time being, we've got 2 days left, and once this quarry's flooded, that's it. So we
is.
need to try and get as much as we can from the quarry before it's too late.
Absolutely.
Well, I think on that note, Ahmad, have you got one last word as well, very quickly?
It's been a wonderful time on the dig. It's a shame that I was only able to be here for 1 week, but you never know. This quarry we could be back at this quarry next year, or we could be somewhere else for all we know.
Yeah.
I know that Sally and Nev have got a lot of stuff on their plates. They've found a lot of stuff before, some really incredible sites. So I think we're all in agreement that we wouldn't mind digging up somewhere else if we had the opportunity.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Task Force would be reinvented.
Well, you never know. Let's say that. You just never know. Thank you so much, all three of you, for coming along. That was really informative and really exciting. I'm really excited for you because I just think it's wonderful. And this is what this dig's about. It's about collecting the data. It's about the networking. It's about the friendships. It's about everything that makes, you know, paleontology really special and part of your lives. You know, absolutely part of your lives, not just part of your science and your employment. It is a big part of your lives. So friendships have been formed here that will continue. Work that has started here that will continue. Species that will be found here and will actually become part of our new knowledge and will be potentially given names and actually start to exist where they never existed before, but they did. We just hadn't found them. So what you've done is absolutely spectacular.
I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
Really
very
is.
much.
A lot of hard work. It hasn't gone unnoticed how much work you three have been putting in. It really has not gone unnoticed. So keep watching these videos. As I said, they are live, unedited and raw. From this site. We want you to experience everything that's going on, and we thought this was a great way of doing it. So keep watching the videos, and the hashtag is, I'm going to see if we can get all three of us to say this, or four of us, sorry. I'm not very good at statistics. Let's just say, the hashtag is Task
Task
Force.
Force.